Alright, we have Mainwain starting his lap now. Let's go ahead and follow his onboard. Sweet Papaya McLaren going through turns 1 and 2. Looking pretty good. Hits the apex quite nicely. Let's see if we can get the exit. Decent traction out of there into 6th up to 7th. DRS wide open. Into the first sector split. Is he going to be purple? Not too sure. It's not showing up on the track map, but he is up by a tiny fraction. Let's go ahead and just turn the telemetry off and observe. Or spectator menu, my bad. But yeah, let's go through Cops or maybe Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen corner. Oh, and oh, so close to invalidating his lap. Currently trying to defend his, what is it? Well, he's not pole yet, or provisionary pole, by 27.4. How much is he up by? He's up by almost 2.5 tenths. Purple to the second sector so far. GMBZ and Segrist cannot improve, cannot find that extra tenth and some change to get Mainwain off provisional pole. So far, Mainwain defending his provisional pole lap very well. Looking very mature throughout this lap as FND Cakes takes it with a 27.345, but the Mainwain is here to defend his provisional pole lap, and it is just off by 8 thousandths with a 27.353 as FND Cakes, our surprise pole sitter so far. Can SPM try and do something about this? He's heading into the final corner, up a tenth and some change. I'm not too sure what he can do, but he can surely threaten for the top 3 as he closes his lap. This is where I spun in the last season towards the final, last quarter, or the last lap. We have a 27.446 from SPM, getting himself up to the top 3. I believe that's it for qualifying. Everybody else has finished their lap or retired. PVW in the boxes. Let's go ahead and have our gap to leader here. Look how super close that is between FND Cakes and the Mainwain, almost tying each other for the time right here. 27.345 from FND Cakes, 27.353 by Mainwain, and a 27.4 for SPM, and that gives us our top 3. Alright, let's round off qualifying here. We have FND Cakes taking pole in the Alpine with a 27.345. Mainwain with a 27.353. Oh, so close. Off by 8 thousandths, I believe that is. 27.446 for SPM. GMBZ and the Aston Martin gets a 27.5. Segrist with a 27.5. 27.7 for Rafa Hulk. Fire Up Flow winning 27.9. C. Rizzi with a 27.9 as well. Super close between these two guys. Sir Charles and P9 with a 27.945. Matt Roofer, 28.1. Ben Swerve at 28.4. You have a Giggle, 28.5. Ray Magic, 29.4. And PVW with a 30 flat. And we are here waiting for the next cars to show up. Let me just bump up the audio really quick. I believe something may be a little too quiet here. "20 seconds onto the grid as everybody surely is adjusting their setups, getting their fuel loads right, making sure they start on the right tire, and maybe even making some setup adjustments. Obviously, park frame is on, so you can only adjust your front wing, your differentials, and your tire pressures. So not too much to play with, but depending on who you are, that might be what gives you pull and what keeps you afloat in the race, or the opposite. Who knows, whichever way you like to set up your car. But here we are. As everybody gets off for the formation lap. as we get along our formation lap, let's go ahead and try and go over our standings. Let me pull these up really quick. Hopefully we can get the standing sheet to pull up. It's usually quite slow for me when it loads. Oh, we have a spinner and you having a giggle. Alright, Magic gets passed and PVW as well. Lucky it's not real life. Usually if you spin on your formation lap, I think you get sent to the back of the grid. So, having a look at our championship standing so far, Mercedes leads by 3 points to the McLaren duo. We have one McLaren missing tonight. Raiden, one of the... Yeah, he's not too far behind Mainwain, but still a really crucial driver for the lead in the constructors, or the fight in the constructors, rather. Alpine in third with 62 points, a fair chunk of change behind Mercedes and McLaren. Red Bull with 53, tied to Aston Martin. Ferrari in P6, Haas on 25, Williams with 21, Alfa Romeo with 10 points in P9, and AlphaTauri with 1 single point. As for the Drivers' Championship, though, SPM, our championship leader, the guy starting in third tonight, he is a fair chunk of change, like I just said, a fair chunk of change out by himself up in the front. So hopefully maybe he'll go on attack from third, or he maybe just try to bring it home. He has a really good chunk of a gap, and really bold strategy for him. Did he forget to adjust his tires or what? Because those softs, they tend to not go very long. A good mix of tire strategy though. Medium, hard, soft. We'll definitely get a really good view from SPM. He should be able to skyrocket into turn 2, maybe 3, get some moves going. SPM is first in Drivers' Championship. Mainwain is in second. Raiden Shogun in third. FND Cakes, our pole sitter, is with P6 right now on 40 points. A fair chunk of change behind championship leader. But maybe he's trying to make a late charge. As we shut off the spectator menu, let's get a good view of this start. Taking the Red Bull of Segrist, we can see Segrist himself has got a good launch. And we see SPM getting a superb launch off the line. But Mainwain, look at that move from the McLaren, getting an absolute rocket of a start. The confidence of this man on the hard tires is incredible. As we see SPM getting challenged by FND Cakes up front. FND Cakes try to keep it around the outside as SPM dominates the inside line with those soft tires. He's going to want to get a launch. He's want to get a move. You can see his power on the overtake as we get interrupted by the pit stop strategy. And now, down here, I don't even know what corner this is, but they've gone past the Sector 1 split. And this field is pretty close as we have a Giggle, I believe, in the back getting a move on. Or no. There we are. Ooh, Matt Roofer getting a little bit squirrely there. Let's go ahead back up to the front as we see SPM getting super close within a tenth and a half. He's keeping it safe here. He knows he can bide his time. He knows he has to take points home. Keep it calm with the amount of a lead that he has. But I'm sure he wants to get a move. SPM not really able to do a whole lot so far. Straight line speed is something that you want to have in the back pocket here. We see Matt Roofer, making a little bit of a contact with Sir Charles. I'm not sure what's going on back here, but definitely some jostling for position as we see Ray Magic within 2/10. And what is going on back here? Some, some wing damage complete losses of wing. As we see Rafa Hook and Segrist get their battle on. Man, we keep getting interrupted by this predicted pit stop strategy. As we see these guys get super close into this corner. We saw how this ended up a few years ago in real life Formula 1. As C. Rizzi makes his way past Segrist. Jesus. This opening lap has been pretty wild. As we see SPM challenging the Mainwain. God, there's so much action so far, and it's only been lap 3. As Mainwain essentially cedes position to SPM. He knows he's on the soft tire. Hopefully, for Mainwain's race, he can make a dent and stay in the DRS. It shouldn't be too difficult for him. If you can latch onto DRS, it's really important for you in your race. This will keep him in the fight, in the battle. As we see SPM just trying his best to launch off. FND Cakes, though, within 3/10 of main win, trying to stick with this battle, trying to make the standard strategy work as SPM makes a different strategy work, and main win is trying the theoretically fastest strategy. 31-2 for SPM as DRS gets enabled, and surely main win is going to be just nudging himself and bumping himself further forwards for his own race. This is very important, like I said, to stay latched on. Rafa Hulk just a little bit behind FND Cakes in order to get that bite of the cherry, as C. Rizzy has his DRS. Segrist, no DRS. He's trying to latch back onto the DRS of C. Rizzy. Ben Swervin, oh, I believe he's disconnected. You having a giggle. Trying to get back in. Get back past that AI. PVW. Fair chunk of change behind. Ray Magic doing his own race back here. Fire Up Flow, though, and Matt Roofer. Surely we're going to get a move cooking over here. DRS and overtake on Ferrari against Aston Martin. Can he get a move? No, he inches closer though. Maybe, just maybe, Fire Up Flow is trying his best to bide his time and kind of making the overtake on a more safe part of the track. Maybe he's waiting for a bit of a longer straight, as we have a yellow in Sector 3 for whatever reason. Maybe that's a Red Bull. Yeah, it's the AI. Or, I guess he's back. Yeah, I think he's back. There you go. As we see this move on by Fire Up Flow. Pretty routine move, though, on the DRS. Clean, easy does it. No need to make any risks. As we go back up to the front, SPM has opened a 1.6 second gap to the main wing. FND Cakes, though, putting on the charge on main wing here. Surely our pole sitter wants to make some grounds and not let SPM get away. It was really imperative for main wing to try and latch onto that DRS, but everybody's a little different. As FND Cakes gets his move on the McLaren here. And we see the Haas, I believe Rafa Hulk is inching ever so close. Within 4/10, he's joining this battle. Another driver who probably wants to make some inroads and not let SPM get away. SPM, like I said earlier, 120 points, leading the championship by a fair margin. So this race is really under his control. See, most of the people have settled down. It seems like not everybody is within DRS or in a DRS train. As main win, I think, is probably starting to save some ERS. Same for FND Cakes. However, that tire wear might just be starting to kick in for SPM. Everybody inching ever so closer. Once FND Cakes made that move, he managed to shrink that gap from almost 1.7 down to overall 1.5. Actually, it's starting to grow a little bit out of the traction zones, but surely FND Cakes has something to say. As we see Rafa Hulk getting a little squirrely on the exit of that curb. See if he can negotiate Maggots, Beckett's, and I believe Chapel? Or, yeah, I'm not sure. Maggots and Beckett's, Cops, whatever. I don't even know the corner names. I should, but anyway. DRS for both of these guys, but neither of them able to make a move on one another. DRS trains tend to be really difficult. Seems like FND Cakes, though, is making a bit of time on the straights to SPM. FND Cakes, probably the most fortunate one so far out of this top 4. The good chunk of ERS to play with. And probably at this point in the race, FND Cakes tires are probably better than SPM. Surely SPM doesn't have more than 1 or 2 laps to go on these soft tires, and after that, it's all game time for the mediums for FND Cakes. As the main Wayne creeping up to 9/10 behind, he does not want to lose FND Cakes at all. He wants to inch up, he wants to boost up forward and stay in the DRS. Maybe try to regen some of that ERS as well. Rafa Hulk within half a second, give or take, and C Rizzy joining this battle for the win. All these guys in the fight. This is what you want to see. It's really close so far. 3 seconds between P1 to P5. That's really close. And some of these guys are on a different strategy. Segrist a little bit further behind. That seemed to be a track warning if I looked at it correctly, but I'm not sure. Let's go back to the interval here. Look at that. That's a beautiful view right here. The aerial cam just did it up. Big up the chase cam or the heli cam. That was a sick view. Come on, Segrist, push up. Alrighty. As SPM has pit already, surely he could have had another lap or 2, but maybe those softs are really starting to die off for him. I really wonder what kind of strategy he's trying to go for. Maybe he's trying to bank on clean air and not get bothered. But he goes on super early onto the hard tire. Really interesting strategy from him. Maybe he's not betting on a safety car to come out. But yeah, interesting from him. As now FND Cakes has no DRS for him. I don't think he had any of those last couple laps anyway. But he's going to have to be defending from main Wayne eventually. Surely the main Wayne is going to get an attack on within the next maybe 3 laps or so. Those softs probably won't make it past lap 13. Well, they'll make it there, but in a lap or 2, these hards and mediums should be equal, and the hard should be taking over as the quicker tire. So, top 5, let's see how close they are now. Top 5 within 5 seconds. A pretty sizable gap to P6. We see SPM. Oh, as Ben Swerven made a move on SPM. I wonder how that one played out. Surely the hard tire is not giving SPM too much grip, and Ben Swerven getting a move on really urgently. But creeping up back to the front, we can see all of these guys just kind of following one another. Not much action going on so far. Lap 7 out of 26. We have a good chunk of this race to go. You see PVW and the AlphaTauri wanting to get himself back up in the constructors surely and get some extra points for himself. AlphaTauri, I believe, is dead last, so he's probably really fighting for points here. Not looking too bad in the alternate strategy. Surely, if he gets those mediums on for the later stages of the race, he will be a force to be reckoned with. We see him trying to make some inroads on Ray Magic. Let's have a look at SPM, though. 7.5 tenths or so behind Ben Swerven. He'll have the bite of the cherry this lap, and those hards should be better than the mediums on Ben Swerven at this point of the race. Honestly, if I were SPM and I had the pace, if there's a sizable difference between me and Ben Swerven, I'm getting a move on. We see SPM getting ever closer, maybe struggling with the dirty air or something. Tall as that overtake is trying to push up forward to Ben Swerven. Wonder what Ben Swerven's thinking about doing here. Maybe he's going to defend with and boost up a little bit. But we see SPM getting under 5 tenths now. He's really... I think he wants to make a move. Not too sure. Not sure what he's trying to really do here, but he's definitely inching closer. As we see them going onto the straight. Any overtake from him? Yes, overtake and DRS open. No defense so far. As we see Mercedes going along the outside. He's going to make that move. It's going to be super tight here. No, no, no. Second thoughts from SPM. He knows to play the percentage game just like Lewis Hamilton did. As he goes, or attempts to go around the outside, gives that position to Ben Swerven. Really doesn't do too much. Lets him take that dominant line. And Ben Swerven gets some momentum through the last section, the last sequence of corners. As we go up to the front, though, we see C. Rizzi has not been able to stay in the DRS of Rafa Hulk. These top three really pushing on, and C. Rizzi not able to show too much yet. Maybe he's trying to boost up or save some ERS, who knows. But he really should be latching onto the DRS at this stage of the race. As we see Rafa Hulk push on. Alright, let's get a good look. Surely FND Cakes, yeah, he's down on his ERS. As the main win, inching closer, but not able to make a move. These three guys fighting tooth and nail, just beautiful over here. But let's go ahead and go back to our battle with SPM and Ben Swerven. Maggots, Beckets, and Cops, or whatever this sequence of corners is called. Let's see. As we see C. Rizzi pit, and Rafael gets a 3-second time penalty for probably extending or cutting a corner. What a rough day so far. Surely he can turn it around as... No, yet again, same thing as last time for SPM. Not really able to make a move. And C. Rizzi, or not C. Rizzi, SPM having to really tuck back. Surely, though, any lap now, he's going to make a move. As we see C. Rizzi come right in front of both of these guys, he's going to give the DRS to Ben Swerven, and Ben Swerven might have an easier time defending, or if Ben Swerven can make a move, he will get a car to sandwich in between him and SPM, and this will hurt SPM's race. SPM, like I said, could just play the percentage game, but we know that these guys are not going to give up over here. Ooh, as we see SPM getting super tight. Those warm hards against the super cold hards of C. Rizzi. As SPM gets his move on and manages to go by unscathed. And we see a battle here. No, really not too much. Main Wayne getting ahead through the pit cycle. And Rafa Hulk and FND Cakes getting those mediums off. Surely Main Wayne is going to want to put the hammer down. And will use some of that ERS, probably get some good laps between him and those fresh hards that are gonna go on FND Cakes and Rafael's cars and Segrist. At some stage, he's gonna want to push, try to make sure that they don't close in on those alternate laps. So those next couple, maybe 5 laps, are gonna be crucial for Main Wayne, trying to keep a good gap because at some point those hards are gonna come back at him. And probably between after the outlap, once those hards warm up for these three guys that just pit, yeah, Main Wayne's gonna have to get his head down. Let's go ahead and have a look at PVW and Ray Magic, looking to be fighting Hammer and Tong here. AlphaTauri on the Williams, clean move down the inside. This is that I believe that move or the place where I believe Sebastian made that move on Valtteri Bottas. That when you're almost on the grass. Super duper late, as we have a spun Red Bull, I assume? Yeah, probably something like that. You see grass on Segrist's tires. How she goes. Lots of field splits so far. Ooh, SSPM, Ben Swerven, and FND Case, I believe, out here. Yeah, they're oh man. I almost missed this entire battle. Holy cow. Ben Swerven out of VRS, under 10%. Let's see, is he going to try and shoot for a move? No, I don't think so. He's really far back. Not really able to do a whole lot as FND Cakes stays in front. FND Cakes, though, pulling off a really decent strategy so far. Those soft tires really not paying off for SPM at the minute. And as we see some funky netcode there. Ben Servant, at least on our screen, almost backed into SPM. That would not have been good. Let's go ahead and watch you having a giggle here on PVW. Not too much going on here. Let's go back to this battle, though. This one's getting juicy. A little squirrely there for SPM. Gets that DRS open. And has C. Rizzy, teammate to F&D Cakes. Maybe he was playing a little bit of a game here with SPM at the beginning, but I don't think so. As we see a yellow, for Rafa Hulk. He was having such a good race. Maybe those cold tires caught him out a little bit. Oof, that's unfortunate for him. He was having a really good race. Now he is about to be 2 seconds behind Seacrest. That really seemed to have cost him. Maybe he had a collision? Not too sure. PVW and having a giggle here, exchanging position. As we see SPM finally trying to make a move on Ben Swervin here. Once again, the same corner, but around the outside this time. He completes the move. Ben Swervin is not going to the pits just yet. Chooses to continue racing. As C. Rizzy is also closing up on this gap here, this group. Surely, if once Ben Swervin is out of the way, I think C. Rizzy might be in the fight for the podium, but I'm not too sure. We should see the main win, though, able to make something happen on those hards. I think based on the leader, based on this gap to leader, he's actually doing really good on those hard tires. I believe the pit gap is about 28 seconds, and you having a giggle and PVW have they're still on their original set. So 32 to F&D Cakes, 33 to SPM. Sorry, Ben Swervin and Seacrest are out of contention at this point. So really, he has like about maybe 3-second gap to F&D Cakes, if my gap is correct, I believe. But I'm not 110% sure if it's a 28-second gap. We're gonna have to see that. Maybe in 2 more laps time. I'll go back to the gap of interval. SPM hanging on to F&D Cakes on those younger hards for F&D. SPM is going to have to latch on and kind of try to push up. 4-lap older hards are not going to be nice to drive on towards the later stage of the race. Surely right now he's at a disadvantage as it is. So, yeah. As Ben Swervin has gone to the pits, and he gets a 5-second speeding penalty. We're unfortunate for him. Let's go ahead and get the cam on this guy out in the front all by himself. Getting those laps down and pushing on for the constructors for McLaren. Without his teammate tonight, surely both guys could have been on the podium, but who knows? Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Let's go to PVW. Stand on his cam. Oh, man. Am I seeing this in the chat? Rabbit Hole got hit? Oh. That can't be good. As you see the main Wayne getting into the boxes. Shoot, maybe he will be 3 or 4 seconds ahead of the guys on the alternate strategy. He bolts on those mediums for 11 laps. Surely this race is in the main Wayne's pocket. Hopefully I didn't just give him the commentator's curse. I hope not. Where does the main Wayne come out? He has a fair chunk of gap to FND so far. That'll probably whittle down to 2 seconds by the time he's fully out of the pit phase. And by the time those tires are warmed up, I think F&D might only have a 1.8 second gap? I'm guessing here. I'm just thinking out loud as Matt Ruffer gets a 3-second time penalty. Main Wayne with a just over 2 seconds of gap to FND Cakes. Surely it might whittle down just a tiny bit, but I'm guessing these mediums will get up to temperature fairly quickly. Alright, like I said, FND Cakes. Oof, there we go. About 2 second gap. Now, Main Wayne, all he has to do is keep the car on track. Use those mediums to his advantage. 4 laps on the hards for FND Cakes, 8 laps for SPM. SPM, though, really close for what it's worth. I think he might want to get a push on to FND Cakes, though. As those tires age toward the later stage of the race, I'm not too sure what's going to happen to SPM. I'm guessing he's going to drop off into the hands of C Rizzy, surely. As Rafaholk is 1.3 seconds behind Segrist. PBW hits the boxes. Michael Smith in the YouTube chat says mixed strategy. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but whatever you say, boss. You see back here Ben Swerven and Sir Charles. Ben Swerven, though, he's really wringing that ERS out. It's like a lime to a juicer. There's nothing left in that, brother. Let it charge. Segrist and Rafaholk. What? Oh boy. I got confused by the pit strategy here. I've been duped. And Ben Swerven, I guess, might have spun at that corner. That tends to be a really difficult corner if you're hanging it in 6th or 4th, even 5th, whatever gear you're taking it on. It's just a corner you have to balance the throttle at. As Rafaholk kind of huddling within that second behind Segrist. Surely wants to get a move on as Ben Swerven gets a 3-second time penalty. Surely for extending or cutting the corners, whatever it may be. As we have a yellow for a Red Bull, probably Ben Swerven. C Rizzy with a 3-second time penalty. And you know what? Let's have a look at time penalties. 3 for C Rizzy, 3 for Rafaholk, 3 for Ray Magic, Ben Swerven with 8, and Rat with 3. Everybody has cycled through their pit phase so far, so everybody's kind of on a level playing field, playing out their strategy. Let's keep this interval going here. It's really a tame race so far. No safety cars, and we're more than midway through the race. Everybody's been pretty spaced out. Some battles have been pretty close. Let's go and have a look at Rafaholk and Segrist. Segrist really in a position of power. Equal age tires to Rafaholk. Rafaholk with 3 seconds on his on the final classification, and Segrist with boatloads of ERS to defend with. As there's another yellow in Sector 3. That's not FND Cakes. Who is it? Oh, Ray Magic. Unfortunate for him. As who is that that's gone ahead? Rafaholk, 3-second time penalty. What has gone on with Rafaholk tonight? Maybe he lost it on the traction. I didn't get to catch that. Hopefully there was no contact there between him and Segrist. But yeah, not a good race for him. Started off really strong though. I can't lie. Have a look up front though. 6-lap old hards against 10-lap old hards of SPM. FND Case not really able to make any inroads on the Main Wayne. Main Wayne really doing what he needs to do right now and pull away. I'm sure SPM can hold it together and probably push up to FND Cakes. Maybe he can fight for the position, but maybe he just wants to take it home. It's really unfortunate. Maybe he forgot to switch off the softs at the beginning, but that decision really did not pay off for him. Rafaholk not really able to get closer. Unfortunate for him. Or not Rafaholk, SPM. I got flashbacks to Rafaholk on the Mercedes last season from Silver. A lonely race for the main lane so far. Really good race though for the McLaren as constructors, fighting up against I believe Alpine and one more constructor. I kind of forgot. Mine spaced out already. But 3-second gap to FND Cakes. Pretty good for him as SPM gets within 3/10. He was almost about to make a move. It seems he was around a tenth and a half or so, but not really able to do anything against FND Cakes. I think we're going to see these tires really play out around lap 25. Not 25, actually. Maybe within lap 21 or 22. These hards on SPM should be going off fairly quickly. And FND Cakes and SPM are fairly equal on ARS, actually. So, as SPM has a little bit of a wiggle there. DRS open, and he's not really able to make any inroads. Top speed for FND Cakes, though, looking really solid, and that's keeping him ahead as well. Everybody's really spaced out. These are the only two guys within the DRS of one another. I think that's kind of funny. I can't even lie. Oof, you can really see SPM struggle through these S's right here. FND Cake's just able to defend, and not really needs to defend. He's getting better exits, and that's resulting in a better straight line shoot to the next set of corners here. DRS is helping out SPM, but it just feels like it's all done and settled for FND so far. I think Ben Swerven's not really been able to get some time. FND Cakes has willed like 5/10 into that gap. It was 3 seconds a little bit ago, but I think what Main Wayne is doing is recovering that ERS, because you can see he's really charged up his battery. I think he's around 80%. That's what it looks like. FND Cakes though having to use a little bit, maybe try to push up forwards. SPM using that battery, but not able to inch enough. Really, it's that sequence of corners, those S's, Maggots, Beckett's, and Tops? I'm not sure. But yeah, you can see SPM is just... Oh, as SPM spins, that's our championship leader here. Oh, now he really needs to carry it home. As SPM, he's going to be in danger of SPM. Yeah, SPM's going to get past him. You can see SPM put that overtake on. Surely those tires have to be screaming on SPM right now. All SPM has to do is carry it for 5 more laps, even if he loses position to C Rizzy. C Rizzy only has how many? C Rizzy gets a little bit too excited and spins out himself. Oh, that is the podium done for C Rizzy, and SPM surely has to be calm now. Have a look at the penalty. C Rizzy has 3 seconds worth, so SPM can just relax. Surely SPM can just take it home now. Oof, that really got close and intense for a little, just a second. Just for a second of action that we finally got. I think the most action we've had has come on lap 21 right here. But yeah, C Rizzy surely has to be kicking himself. I think he saw the podium, or at least a podium on track position, just calling his name. Saw that, got the gas pedal a little too early and spun just a little bit, and kind of mimicking what SPM did a little earlier. But yeah, SPM really lucky here. As we have a Toro Rosso, or AlphaTauri, but spun, has gotten himself back together. All good for him. FND Cakes down to about 30% of his ERS. But Main Wayne, look at that. Almost a full battery for him. Ben Swerven retires in the pits. Really unfortunate race for him. That sucks. Main Wayne, though, doing a really good job. Maybe he really wants this Constructors title, I think. As Ben Swerven leaves the session, you can see FND Cakes really making some inroads. Using his battery, boosting a little bit down into the 20s, but still not under that 2-second gap for Main Wayne. Just barely. Main Wayne almost on 100% battery. Oh man, he was saving. He was saving for a hot minute. Surely, though, he's going to give us a good show to watch and maybe boost up on that ERS. Maybe we'll have a battle over here, GMBZ on the medium tire up against Ray Magic on the hards. Who knows, maybe GMBZ is going to play it easy as he sees Ray Magic with that time penalty. GMBZ inching up close, getting a move on pretty late onto the straight, but early enough to make a safe move here. As the Aston Martin is able to get his move on, and Ray Magic just tucks in behind, tries to follow for P10. A point for him. Solid stuff so far. As C. Rizzy gets past his heebie-jeebies, maybe he's gotten past his anxiety. Maybe he wants to inch up to SPM. Looking at the ERS, SPM has a lot more to defend with, but his tires are a hell of a lot older. Jeez. How do I find tire life? There we go. SPM, 3-lap older tires than C. Rizzy. That's probably about a 9 to 10% difference if you figure about 3% a lap. Yeah, about 3% every lap. 3 or 4. So 8 to 12% difference in tire wear, which might be a couple tenths. Maybe just a tenth or two, who knows. But you can see Rizzy here going deep into the braking zone there and costing himself time towards the start-finish straight. As he puts a tiny bit of overtake, but doesn't do much. Gets a little bit on the grass, as you can see from the front left tire. Through the first section of corners, he is getting a bite of the cherry for the next lap. Maybe he's going to wait for the big DRS straight. Yeah, maybe. But he is quite close here, though. Traction not very good for SPM, as SPM gets defensive. SPM gives him the outside, gives him the racing line, and he goes around the outside without much complaining here as SPM seemingly ceding position. Those hards probably screaming for mercy at this stage of the race. And C. Rizzy, all he has to do to get that position on merit is open up a 3-second gap. But he needs to open up that 3 seconds within 2 laps time. Otherwise, the position is not his. He's got to be hoping for a huge drop-off on SPM, and SPM really struggling here. You can see him. He's already dropped a second and some change. Maybe he's really killed his tires here with the spin, and really that strategy really messed him up. I think you're starting to see the hards really scream here. The only defense that SPM has is to use his battery. Maybe he can boost up and get into the DRS yet again, as Sir Charles sets the fastest lap of the race with a 29.247 in the Haas. FND Cakes not able to put up a challenge to the Main Wayne. Main Wayne opening up a 1.5 second gap, and Main Wayne's used about half of his battery so far. He's put on 1.5 seconds, and he was just about 2 seconds ahead of FND Cakes not too long ago, and now it's almost 4 seconds. Those mediums and that saved up battery really kicking in right now for the McLaren driver. as we watch C-Rizzy make his attempt at shooting up into the podium with FND Cakes. Maybe a double podium for Alpine tonight, but SPM has to stay within that 3 seconds to prevent C-Rizzy from getting that podium. This would be a really good race for C-Rizzy. Not sure where he's at as far as standings go, but let me have a look. Oh man, my phone froze. There we go. Oh yeah, this is going to be a really good race for Alpine to pull ahead of Red Bull in the constructor standings. FND Cakes out in P6 right now, and where is C-Rizzy? P8. So yeah, this is a really good race for the Alpine duo. If they can both secure a podium, a 2-3 for them would be great. SPM though just sticking by the just barely. I think so long as nothing happens and no odd traction moments or anything, SPM might still be in it for the podium. But oh, PVW getting a 3-second time penalty. C-Rizzy really has to push on. I don't know if he can find 1.4 seconds, but you can see he's driving like mad. Took that first corner right there, that curb. Car looked like it was on the edge, and you can see him just diving, pushing like mad right here, clipping that curb almost. SPM surely getting his boost on. There we go. 2 seconds ahead. SPM, this is going to be the race of his life right now. Looking for this first podium. I'm sure this is his first podium. Not too sure though. But yeah, surely he's pushing like mad. He might be wanting to kick himself for getting that half spin not very long ago, but ever since then he's really gotten his head down. Only has to find 1.2 seconds within half a lap. That's a really tall order for Silverstone, but if he can do it, more power to him if he can pull that time. He's got to find a second and a half, as SPM has lost all of his battery. They're on equal terms at this stage. SPM really riding these curbs and pushing to his limits, and he has a half spin. Oof, he caught it though. Oh, I think that first podium or whatever for C-Rizzy kind of getting away from him. His only hope is a little spin right here for SPM, and SPM keeps it on track as the main Wayne wins the race from FND Cakes, almost 5 seconds ahead. Pretty good race from him as C-Rizzy Clark crosses the line in third, but has that time penalty that puts him down to P4. SPM takes his podium, our championship leader, really getting a race of, how do you say it? Well, maybe he tried to play a percentage game or just try to secure some safe points. I think he probably got the strategy wrong, and he might be kicking himself for that right now. Or maybe he just didn't have enough time at the setup screen. Who knows? Maybe that got past him. Seagrass P5, you having a giggle P6, Rafa Hulk in P7. Wonder what happened to him. He looked really good at the beginning stages of the race, and then you just saw him pummeled down the order a bit. GMBZ getting the position on PVW, as Ray Magic is soon to cross the finish line in P10. 1 point for him. Pyro Upflow crosses line P11. Matt Roofer. Oh no. Red Magic had a time penalty, and Pyro Upflow gets promoted up to P10 for 1 point just by 7 tenths or so, 6.5 tenths. Matt Roofer looking to cross the line here, P12 and a P13 for Sir Charles. You can see him not really pushing towards the line, but at least he's finishing the race. Is he going to do donuts across the line or something? There we go. I mean, I'm not sure what he's celebrating over here, but hey, if he wants to do donuts and Gunther approves, why not? No safety cars. The field really spread out tonight. As you can see, you having a giggle getting the Driver of the Day award. Good on him. As we see the McLaren driver of the main Wayne win tonight's race. Pretty tame race for him. I'm sure he felt in control throughout the first stint and whatnot. Pretty mature race from him. Letting things go for SPM once he had those softs, and FND Case letting him do his thing on the mediums. But at the end, the column head and the McLaren driver of FND Cakes, or not FND Cakes, the main Wayne wins the race tonight in gold. Really good points for them as a constructor. What a shame his teammate wasn't here to help boost those points up, but hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. All right, and this is our classification so far. We see the main Wayne here winning the race. FND Cakes almost 5 seconds behind. SPM P3 with about 13 seconds behind. Rizzy missing out on a podium here with this 3-second time penalty. Really unfortunate for him. Seagrist in P5, you having a giggle in P6. Rafa Hulk P7, GMBZ P8, PVW P9, Fire Up Flow P10, Ray Magic in 11th. Matt Roofer P12, Sir Charles in P13, and Ben Swerven last. Let's have a look at our race director here just in case for incidents. All right. Let's go ahead and set up the interviews. I'll try and get these guys in here. Trying to round these guys up together here. Alrighty. Alrighty, let's try and get this Discord call going. Hopefully. Alright. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Alright, just trying to get SPM and main Wayne in here. Oh boy. Hello? Main Wayne, can you hear me? I see SPM is typing. Main Wayne, you there? FND Cakes, you can still hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Who's that?
Wayne.
Oh, okay. You're a little loud. Can you turn the mic a little bit away from you,
Sure.
or try now?
How about now?
Okay. Why don't you do it? That'll do. You know what?
How about now?
Yeah, that's good. I'm just waiting on seeing what SPM is saying. He's typing in the chat. I'm not sure if he can join the interview call. Alrighty, we have a message from SPM. He's not really able to join the call. He's a little bit under the weather, so hopefully he has a steady recovery. Says there's a nice race for everybody. I think he says he was missing a little bit of speed, but he's happy for the result given the circumstances. Let's move on to P2. I believe that's F&D Cakes. Tell us about your race. What were you thinking?
Yeah. So first, congrats to Wayne. Another good race. But yeah. So I mean, I got another pole. So I was just basically in my brain was hoping that I can get a good jump and kind of get out in front. I always felt I had good pace at this track. So didn't get a good start. So 0 for 1. But then basically at that point it was just keeping up with everybody, make sure that I stayed within DRS when I could, and then hoping that with Wayne being on the opposite strategy, maybe his tires would die out at the end. So that's what I spent most of my race doing. And then towards the end, when SPM were kind of battling out for second, I think I kind of wore out my tires a bit, keeping him behind, and used a little more battery than I wanted to. So basically a few laps to go, I just didn't have enough to keep up with Wayne. So that's pretty much what happened all race.
That's fair. Did you ever think about going onto the hards and doing what Wayne was doing, or no?
I did. I did a few practice sessions starting on the hards, and I didn't dislike it, but then I did another practice session with some other TCR guys, and basically what I saw in practice was what I had hoped would happen to Wayne, where my mediums were dying out and the hard runner got up on my back, and I felt like I was getting there. And I was messaging Wayne earlier. I didn't see what he said, but basically I looked up. I was at 1.7 behind with about 3 laps to go. I figured I had him at that point. I put my head down. I looked back up, and I was almost 3 seconds behind. So at that point, it was just don't get a penalty, don't spin, let Wayne have his day.
Yeah, kind of keep it on track, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fair enough. What'd you make of SPM when he went on the soft tires? Were you even considering that, or?
No, never once. What I figured was that he was going to try to extend them to maybe 8 or 9 laps to try to get him on pace with the mediums, so he could get a decent gap, and then go on to the hard to be even with the rest of us. But then I was behind him when he pitted. He pitted on lap 6, so I figured I just don't know if he wore the tires out quicker than he wanted to, or the strategy just didn't work. But no, I never considered the softs.
Okay, I got you. Were you any chances? Were you thinking that you could pull up to the main win at the end? You saw the gap go from 3 seconds at one point down to 2, but then it completely hamerized to like almost 5 seconds at the end. So, was anything going through your mind, or did you think that he was just kind of saving up?
No, I honestly thought I was catching him. I thought I had the strategy advantage, and then I just looked down, like I said, put my head down, looked back up, and I don't know if it was a battery dump or what, but he was gone. And then that's when I kind of changed my my thought process of just stay on the podium, stay in second, and maybe hope he makes a mistake. So
yeah, okay.
He didn't make a mistake, so.
Alrighty, any final words?
Nope, that is it. I'm moving up the chain. Hopefully, I turn one of these polls into a win one day, but today was not it.
Yeah, we all have our days. Alrighty, good one from you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Main win, do you have a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
Alrighty, tell us about your race. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, pretty boring race for me. Yeah, I got F&D off the line at the beginning, but then after that, obviously seeing SPM on the softs, which was pretty surprising. kind of just tried to hold him off for a couple laps so I could snag some DRS, which kind of worked. But then, yeah, kind of just stuck in the DRS train in that first stint. Knew that the overcut was probably going to be decent because the cold hards are maybe the worst thing at Silverstone.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, got the overcut decently. There might have been some traffic that also held them up. And then, yeah, pretty much just chilled that whole second stint. I don't think I used a drop of battery until like lap 23, 24 in that second stint. And then I think I unloaded like 60% going for fastest lap. But, yeah.
Did you ever make anything of SPM, or did you kind of just know in your head just to play it safe and let his softs kind of wear out?
Yeah, I pretty much just tried to hold him off until like halfway through lap 2 so I could try to get DRS on lap 3, which I think worked out. Because, yeah, if he gapped us at the beginning, he definitely could have been ran away with it. So, yeah, I was just trying to hold him off. Knew I wasn't going to keep him back forever on the soft. So.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, it seemed a pretty mature race from you. I was expecting you to kind of stay and keep SPM safe, or not safe, but keep him kind of humble throughout the first stint, and I think you really did that, and let FND Cakes kind of do his thing. And then I think, were you caught out by the overcut on your first stint hards, or did you kind of know that those 3 or 4 laps between the mediums and the hards were going to be where your race was going to be made?
Well, yeah, I knew that the outlap on the cold hards was going to be brutal for them. They'd probably lose like at least 2-3 seconds, So as long as I had a decent amount of battery saved up in the first stint too. I think I had like 60-some%. So I just burnt all of that on the overcut to make sure I had the track position when I came out of the pits.
Alrighty. Having any hopes for the Constructors Championship? I can see you guys are close for the Constructors lead right now. I'm sure you're not very happy that Raiden couldn't show up tonight and help you boost up the standings.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good. But yeah, definitely trying to get that Constructors title. I mean, very competitive, both us and Mercedes. I mean, all 4 of us drivers are all pretty much the same pace, I would say. I mean, very marginal differences. So, yeah, it'll be a fun season.
Yeah, already. Any final thoughts for you?
No, that's all I got.
Alrighty. And that closes out tonight's race, Golden Class. Yeah, not much else to say. Pretty tame race. No safety cars. Maybe unfortunate for some of us as viewers. Maybe somebody on the track as well was wishing for a safety car or something. But we'll be back tomorrow night with Platinum Class.